recording is live or live on socials. Let me get my Discord set up. I always have way too many things to click here. Hang on. Bear with me, guys. All right. Good morning, Discord people. Can you hear me? We'll start with that. Can you hear me first? Duco says no right off the bat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Let me get my screen shared, because that means yes when it's Duco. And let's see. Yeah. How you doing, buddy? How's your morning? Actually, how was your day yesterday? Forget today. How'd yesterday go? Oh, you haven't slept yet, Jolie. What happened? Sorry, is that on purpose? Just finished with the gym? Okay. That's fair. Not on purpose? Oh boy. All right. Is that a environmental thing, or is that just a can't sleep thing? You get stuck working overnight? Just couldn't sleep. It sucks, man. Well, it's a change in season. I mean, that tends to happen. Plus, we've all got our own personal things, Are you hydrated? Are you properly hydrated? And are you not trading a bunch today while you're in that state? Pretty hydrated. Okay, that's good. Good. Just doing one stock. Okay. Which one are you looking at? Oh, you know what? Let me I gotta change my screen, guys. I'm sorry. No, you know what? I'm gonna leave it the way it is. ADD. Yeah, we like this one. Okay, so let's take a look here. So this is your scrim. You're on a phone also. Oh boy. I can never day trade from my phone. It would be too nerve-wracking for me. By nerve-wracking, I mean it would just be frustrating as hell. I just don't like it. So it looks like you get about 4,200 shares at 12 cents. All right, so let's go ahead and pull it up. Is this when you're just day trading? Like you're just trying to get in and out? Ooh, that's a mighty downtrend, sir. Do you have a planned cut point just in case? I see there was some good ramp up into the like maybe 410, 415 hour, and then it just kind of pulled back. Now you're going to see some red in my account today. So this small account got kind of a little bit jacked up yesterday. So we're going to be watching that closely today. So I had a plan yesterday, and then it just got so horribly interrupted because I had a court thing I had to go to. I started a trial yesterday, so I did not get to sell my stuff, and that's okay. I'm marking yesterday as a deviation, so that's some data I can use, and we'll go from there. I got about $20 to trade with today, so I'm not looking to do anything crazy on this account, but we will get what we get, and we'll go from there. One thing I do want to do is show you guys a strategy you might like. That's okay. I'm not too worried about it. That's a small cash account, but as far as demonstration goes, this is why you don't want to hold the high risk stuff overnight or for multiple days, and that's okay. It's a super small amount of money for me, so I'm not too worried about it. Just kind of makes me look bad is all. So that I do worry about, but it happens. At the very least, it's good data for you guys and to show you guys why risk is risk. So one thing I do want to do is I want to show you guys the Heikin-Ashi candles today, because that is something I think is still pretty overlooked for newer traders. And I think that I'm seeing a lot more YouTube videos out there about Heikin-Ashi candles, and I want to make sure that you guys don't get caught up in the newbie hype, basically, because one of the main appeals for Heikin-Ashi candles is the back tests and how they look after the fact, right? So it's very easy to say, oh, every time you see let's say every time you see a red doji and then a bullish candle, that's an entry, right? Because it makes sense, and you're going to see that a lot if you look back at price action. And that's where they get you, right? That's where they get you to buy their courses and all that, Now we sell courses here, and that's great, but we don't need to rely on the gimmicky stuff to do that. So if you're looking at Heikin-Ashi candles, first off, what they represent is the averages, right? So the opening price of a Heikin Ashi candle is the midpoint between the open and close of the previous candle. Hey, Alarm Clock, how you doing, buddy? He wants to learn about Heikin Ashi candles today too. So let's say this candle opened here, this one opened here. The midpoint is the opening price of the next candle, right? Whether it goes up or down. Okay, so that's a pretty easy concept, right? It's just a bisecting candle. And then the closing price is the average of all 4 data points, so that it shows kind of where the price is moving on average away from that midpoint. And that gives you some average, it's like a smooth directional movement, so that you can assess whether or not the candle is kind of just generally moving in one direction or generally moving in the other direction. And it takes a lot of the noise out of the chart, which is great. Now, the problem with that is that when you see a doji candle like this, if you were to look at this candle as it formed, right, the wicks are still the high and the low. So this candle here went as high as here and as low as here over its life, but it started right here, okay? And in order to form this candle right here, it had to be bearish at some point, which means this was originally a red candle, which means it wouldn't have satisfied the criteria of being a bullish candle until it went up here more than twice that distance, because that's how Heikin Ashi candles form. So before this would have been a big bullish candle, you know, it would have been too high up for a safer entry in this case. And that's why you can't just use strategies like that, because you're not going to see it until after the fact. And again, that's where they get all this hype from on social media, because it's very easy to just point at something that is common after the fact and say, yes, this is my strategy. I've used this to generate blah, 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 right? And then they very rarely do it in real time. And that's suspicious for me. So rather than using them the wrong way, we're going to add some stuff to it, and we're going to use them the right way. And we'll see how it goes. So like right here, for example, there's a long-legged doji and a bullish candle that wouldn't have closed. It would have closed up here, right? In most cases, because the Heikin Ashi candles, in order to pull this price up, the wick is always going to pop up higher than the body. And you'll see that next time. Like if we watch this line right here, it might be a little hard to see. I'll zoom in for you guys, right? Hopefully you guys can see the top of this wick right here. And what I'll do is I'll put the same chart in underneath it. And then you guys will see, I'll use regular candles down here and we'll just zoom in. And you can watch those 2 candles form. I'm just kind of skew them out a little bit there. There we go. Okay. So this candle is technically red right now. But you'll see as it pokes out of this range here, the wick is going to move out first and then the body will follow. That's just how they work, right? So I don't want anyone to just jump into Heikin Ashi candles and think that bullish Heikin Ashi candles mean price is going up and red means it's going down. Because most of the time you're going to buy the tops or bottoms of those candles if you're using it that way. Now, there is a parallel trick we can use here, and that is to, oops, I don't know why I'm moving that. Sorry. The trick is to use the base of the candles, the lowest points of the candles. So we'll wait and see if this candle is going to move. I was kind of hoping we'd get a little bit more movement there on these. Yeah, there we go. So see how this one's pulling out and this one is moving out, but it's led by the wick. So the wick, just pretend it's like a little drawstring for Heikin Ashi candles. See how the wick's moving down? And that's because that's the low price of that candle range. So let me move this back up to a single chart here. So rather than doing all that crazy stuff, what we can do is we can look for things like divergence, and we can look for those doji candles like right here, for example. Excuse me. The price in theory should be going up at this point, or it should at least have a support that we can use. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because we've got 2 candles with higher lows right here. So what I can do is I will buy 1 share. And this is not a master strategy that's going to hit 100% of the time. But we can see here the price is currently 321 on this stock. So I'm going to place 1 share. See, that's up here now. It's not down here where the top of the body is. And that's PRFX. So let me just go ahead and get ready to sell that 1 share. Okay. And that's a very simple concept. I'm just looking for those dojis and then waiting for the price to push over but only if I get two higher lows. Now this could change, obviously. This candle's still forming, but it was within like the last 10, 15 seconds. So now I've got a defined risk point, okay? Which means I can then justify doing a 9% reward. Oh, I'm out already. Look at that. Let me switch back over to regular candles so you guys can see what happened there. All right, see that? I'm out. And that right there is going to keep you out of a lot of trouble because you're not messing around, right? We're just getting in when the price consolidates, finds a support, starts to push up. And then as soon as it stops doing that, we just get out. No questions asked, no hesitation. So for now, I wouldn't recommend switching back and forth between the candles because you will have all the data you need on the Heikin-Ashi chart. So let me just swap that back over there. But this is a very easy way to just catch those support bounces. So if you're someone that struggles with support and resistance, Heikin-Ashi candles are there for you, basically, because you can just take the lowest body in a pullback here. Now, you're not going to see that it's the pullback until it's done, right? You're going to, like, as soon as you start to see higher lows and higher opening, those bisecting midpoints, that's when you're going to have a better time plotting that level. And then you just trade the breakouts on off of that level. Right. So like right here, for example, you've got the levels here and you've got the levels here for the wicks 1, 2, 3. So now we would look for a break over in this area. And that's kind of just all I did. I didn't expect this retest here. So pretty easy strategy on that one. It's one of those weird mornings. The volume is pretty low. This one and this one, GXAI, are the only ones that really seem to have delicious volume. ADD does. But it's not very consistent. Like it's ebb and flow, right? We are an auction cross. We got about 3 minutes till market open as well. But I wasn't looking down here. So we'll keep an eye on those three. I like those are PRFX. I like GXAI and I like ADD for this morning. I don't really like too much else that I'm seeing here. Maybe Dragonfly, but this one's super hit or miss. I don't like it when it's chopping like this to the side. I like it going straight up like this over here. Let me catch up. Ooh, Fog Rainbow. Oh boy. That looks pretty cool. I think it's just because of where you're at, buddy. Fergie says, Weeble hates me when I right click to place an order like I do every day. The order comes up, but button to place order is missing. Huh. Is it off? Like, is it obscured by something else? What's up, Tick Breezy? Sorry, man, I didn't see your comment. My bad, my bad. Let me just peek over here and see what Spy's up to as well. I got to keep an eye on this one today. I'm expecting, I assume, some violence in the market open here. So yesterday, if I just kick this up to the 5 minute, we stayed in this range all day, right? This range right here. So we'll see if we get that volume to push one way or the other today. I know there's a lot of hot and cold in the market right now, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that one. I do have my sell order set up for $5. I'm going to bring that back down to about 370 for this morning, just because I want to catch a quick pop, and that's going to be 100% profit grab. I don't want to go too far out with that, given that it's a 0 day at this point. It's the last day. Fergie says, no, I just have issues with technology. I'm restarting computer in case I've missed a Weeble update. That's fair. You can actually do that from the settings. So if you go here to settings, and then you go down to, I think, account and security. Maybe it's general. Then about. Yeah, it's one of those. You can clear the cache files and all that good stuff. I thought there was an update button in there, but I guess I was wrong. My bad. What's up, Adrian? How you doing, buddy? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, happy day. Charlie says, I keep mine centered on the bottom, and sometimes I overshorten that window, and I lose the button unless I drag up on top of the window frame. Yeah. Oh, it's back. Okay, cool. Crisis averted. Good stuff. I also like EQS. This is one that I grabbed last Friday with Austin. It is at the 199 level. I'm gonna keep holding it. You guys know how I am. There's a lot of potential on this one, but I'm already in. I think Austin got in much lower than I did as well. We got about 5 seconds till market open, and then the my Weevil is going to probably freeze up. So we're at market open right now. I have to wait for the data to just kind of shuffle and sort itself out. I'm going to switch back over to regular candles for this, and we'll see where everything lands this morning. Oh, actually, while we're doing that, so I'm just going to let SPY play out, do its thing. I'm going to switch this over to 1 day, and I'm going to set this to 1 share, and I'm going to use the same old order book strategy we've been using. So I don't see a book here that that works for me. I do see the volume, obviously, it's pushing in, but I didn't see what I liked in the order book on this one. So I'm going to peek back over at Lay's. Again, that's super sparse. There's nothing on this order book. So check GXAI now. This one I like over 177. Okay. So this is one that I can play with a little bit. So let me see if okay. I'm gonna hang out just a second there. That was close, but I didn't want to rush into that one. So we'll wait just a little bit, see if we get a buy up on this. And if not, that's okay. There's just no trade. Your computer says 10:07. Oh no, it's 9:31 Eastern. Oh no. Did someone else get on your computer? Are you being sabotaged? Ooh, hard rejection here on PRFX. Let's see if they push and fight through that. I like it over maybe 315. So I'd grab that one, I think, for a quick little single share pop. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get into PRFX. It's high risk, obviously. It's still pushing and pulling. I'm getting in a little early here, but I got my 6% take profit set up there. Actually, yeah, okay, cool. There's a wall at 330. Kind of high risk on that one, but I'm okay with it. And then for Lay's, that one is currently pushing up, but there's nothing on the order book here. I can't, like, this is just flying blind, right? And that's super scary stuff. So I like the price action, but I don't see it here on the time and sales or the order book. So I can't jump into that in good faith. GXAI still selling off. ADD, how you doing? There's nothing good on the book there. See, it's just one of those, it's a weird morning, guys. I don't want to jump into the stuff if it's going to be super sketchy like that. Beautiful price action, though. So congrats. But yeah, I just don't like it. Let me peek back over here at PRFX as well. So this one, I don't really mind. It's going to do its little push-pull thing. It's got some bid-size walls here, $3, $2.95. I don't really like this below $2.95, and that's a pretty sizable risk on that for my 1 share. So let me just cancel that order, and I'll just sell this one manually. And then also SPY is selling down pretty hard here. So I actually kind of like that. What do you guys think? Should I move that price target? I don't think I should. Not on a day like today. I'll just give what it's going to give me here. Now, obviously, there's a lot of potential here for harder sell-off. There's also pretty massive potential here for a bounce, and I don't want that because we've been down here before a couple times. All right, I think the whole world is watching for the 642 fail. All right, so we got a hard bounce there, hard bounce here, shallow test there, hard bounce, hard bounce, hard bounce, right? But the bounces are getting less and less intense. So this battering ram is going to fail. I think I might cancel this order and place another one later. Not quite sure yet. I do think I want to also keep a very close eye on PRFX. It is below my out. I'm out. I don't want to hold this anymore. I'd rather just get out, right? I don't trust what these are doing right now. So the market is kind of upside down right now. So there's the ones that have, sorry, the ones that have, you know, the highest change for the day is PRFX. It has the best book, but its price is being the weirdest, right? And then the ones that don't have anything on the book are being the purest volume. So it's just one of those days where it's probably best just to not fiddle around too much, right? So this is beautiful price action. These walls are not, they're not being compliant, I guess, if that makes sense. Like there's clearly something's happening with the stock, but it's not limit orders. It's not pending blocks and things like that. So I have to be very careful with that stuff. I don't like, actually, I think I'm going to cancel that SPY order, by the way. So I like it, but I don't like not seeing it, right? I don't want to be blind on a stock like this. So I'll just sit it out. I'll let it hang out for a little while. This one's okay, but it's like you're not going to get good action until you get over 2. So let's go ahead and plot that level. There we go. So I'll hang out on that one. It's just one of those up and comers, right? It's got about a, what's that, a 1 to 4, 1 to 5 volume and market cap ratio. We'll see where that one goes. Oh, dude goes about to lose service. No. No. We got to get you out of those planes, man. All right. So 178 wall's getting chewed. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab a share of this. This is GXAI. And I'm just looking for a quick pop up to the upside. If we get it, great. If not, that's great too. I don't want to hang out too long in a lot of these today. Just looking for quick runs. So we had some strength over here. It got rejected, but we keep pushing back up in there. So as long as that volume sustains and as long as the that bid pressure doesn't do anything weird, we'll be okay. So let me draw that, cancel that. I'll just sell this one manually. All right. So what are you guys watching today? And let me put a link here on the social media account. So while we're waiting for paint to dry, you're trading lays. Okay. You're a brave soul, braver than I. I like the price action. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like not seeing stuff on the order book. It's a little bit sketchy to me. So while you guys are waiting on social media, I'll put it in here too. If anybody hasn't signed up for it yet, we have reminder emails that go out for Lee's live stream on Thursday. He's going to live stream Thursday morning at Market Open, and he's teaching his strategy. So that's one of the best streams of the week. And if you're not there, why? So definitely worth showing up, in my opinion. He did have some issues last week with his computer, but I believe that should be resolved this week, hopefully. And ooh, I like this one over 320. We'll see. So I want to watch this 10K wall at 320 here. And I just got my my control 9 hotkey set up for a quick pop, but I think I'm just going to use control 1 and just get in and out. And let's see if we get that 10K wall to get chewed on. So again, I'm kind of trading when I shouldn't be on this morning here. Get into 320. That's PRFX again. Just looking for a quick pop. I don't want to hang out too long. There's a 330 wall. There's a 350 wall. So let me plot those out as well. I've only got one share, so again, it's not. Damn. Okay. Well, I'm out of that one. 359. I sold that. Or got filled at, I should say. So yeah, I wasn't expecting that quick pop. I was just looking for a 330, 350 wall, but I just want to get in and out of that one. It happens, you know. Let me erase all these other lines here because that's just clutter, and I know Snowflake's going to break my thumbs. All right, so Fergie, you said you're trading lays. Are you looking for breaks to the upside on this one, or are you already in down here and you're looking to take profits and scale out? Tell me about that Fergie lifestyle. I see SPY is also kind of pulling up a little bit, so let me look at that one. Aha, that's beautiful. Okay, it's time to die. That's a picture perfect bearish rejection if that one wants to go down. It might not, but if it wants to, that would be perfect, and that would be tremendous downward pressure, which I would not be opposed to or upset about. Just draw that, get rid of the fib, and we'll see if it wants to hold that or if it wants to break to the upside. SPY to 638, please. Yeah, that'd be nice. I wouldn't mind a little 638 action. I think most people are expecting SPY to come down, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we don't control that, and they know that everyone wants it to go down. So they have to they got to waste everyone's time, burn the contracts, and try to consume each other, right? So we'll see how it goes. I did get in a little high. I got in on Friday, and I got in, I think, like 10 cents higher than I wanted to, but that's okay, in my opinion. As long as this doesn't blast up to like 700 today, we'll be okay. But, that is the risk when it comes to SPY, right? Especially options contracts that are naked. So any and all naked options are high risk. That was GXAI. This one's popping up here in a little bit. All right, come on up. So I'm looking for a pop over 2 on this one. If we get it, that's great. If not, this is GXAI, by the way. I'm sorry, I keep talking like there's a developmental milestone where like a child will talk as if you know who their friend is. So I do that with these tickers a lot to you guys, and I'm sorry. This is GXAI. Gonna probably look to scale out of that. Well, I can't scale out. I got 1 share, but I'd like a quick sell off over $2. Because this may halt. What's the float? Yeah, that might halt. So I think if we get over 2, I'm out. Hang out too long on that one. But I keep forgetting that the camera and stuff covers this up on social media. So my bad. I apologize to you guys. All right, so we're chewing up these walls pretty good. 190, 191, 182 walls are gone. They keep adding them back in, 189, 190, but so they're still, like, you guys see that fluttering that it's doing right there, the push, pull, push. So let's watch this one. There's a heartbeat. Now I'm looking for a high stall right here, and then for that to break over that price. So that price right there just became critical. There's a heartbeat, and we popped over it. So that's good. That means I get to get ready to sell soon. So I'm going to hold my control key, and then as soon as that pops over 2, I'm going to try to get out. If I can get filled, great. If not, I'm going to watch the 17K wall here at $2. 18. There's a 9,500 wall in front of that, but 17.7. Just going to keep an eye on that. Sorry, it keeps moving up and down. They're shuffling the walls around a little bit here. So 17.8, 17.7, 17.6, 5, 3, pulled. Okay. So we should pop over 2 pretty easily at this point, in theory. Anyway, we can't guarantee that, and I'm out. And what did I get filled at? 203. Okay. So I don't care if it goes higher. I got my piece. What was it? 203.4 or something, I think was the price. And that's GXAI. So I'm out on that one. And then, yeah, that's it. How many trades are most placing per day? Angel, that's a great question. I personally like to trade 2. The account's kind of a mess right now because I have the SPY contract, which limits my funds because it's a huge allocation. I have 1 share of VTech, and I have 1 share of EQS from 2 Fridays ago that I just like. So those are the only ones that I'm holding, but that SPY contract is really inhibiting my ability to trade a bunch. But normally I just do 2 trades at half portfolio size each day, or each trade, sorry. And if I wasn't live streaming, I would do my first trade, and if it was a win, I'd be done for the day. So my goal is just to get 3% per day in most cases. So if I can get a 6% profit on half my portfolio, that hits my 3% target, I walk away for the day. But since I'm trading, I'm demonstrating, I kind of have to take more trades for you guys. So then I just do a bunch of the little 1% for 1 share things here and there now, so we can get multiple entries and exits. Yeah, PRFX is, look at that. It's a disaster. Just kidding. This one had, it's got a good like 12, 14 to 1 ratio, volume to market cap ratio. Lots of potential, but again, that volume just wasn't there, and the order book is naked. So not a big fan of that. This is bid heavy. Don't like that right now. GXAI seems to be the golden child right now. I think, yeah, it is a good percentage. I like it. 3% compounds significantly over, 250 trading sessions a year. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to get 3% every single day, but we can get it pretty consistently just by getting in and out. But that getting out part is the hardest part for most traders. Let me just check something real quick. I'll be right back. That's the ADD share from shares. from earlier. So let me just check something real fast here. All right. All right. So I have GXAI pulled up here. I kind of want to get another share here. I like the strength, but I'd like to see what it does over 2. So I'm looking for an entry between between 2 and 205. So let me move that up here. You know, it's kind of had an opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and get in right there. So I'm in GXAI again for another rally, but it's got to break over 205, right? So let me just move that to a dashed line. And that's going to kind of be our threshold. So I've got to move to the upside, move to the downside. I'd like to see a break over 205 and then a push up to maybe 220, 240, something like that. If it breaks below 195, I'm out. Okay. So I'm going to watch this 205 wall here. It's 21,000. I got a 12,000 wall at 203, 204. It's getting pulled. So 21,000 wall at 205 is pretty substantial. I'll hold this for a second. And then if it goes any lower than that, lower it, I'm out. So yikes. A little messy on that one. But that's okay. And you guys see how it adjusted after the fact, like the low was reflected down here. It's okay if I take a little spanking on that one. You know, we exited somewhere around here, I think. Stuff like this could very, very easily come all the way down to here, you know, and then anywhere from here to here is risk I can avoid. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to lock in that loss immediately. And that's what keeps me in the game so that I don't hurt myself. Now I say that and I have a 20% drawdown here on VTech. So do as I say, not as I do. Actually, yeah, let me get rid of that one because that's, I don't like that. Maybe I got to cancel this sell. I just keep forgetting about it. So let me just get rid of that one right now. I'll just lock in that little baby loss. That's a 1 share. So I'm not too worried about that. Ooh, am I going to have enough settled cash for this? No, I don't need to trade this one. I don't like this one anyway. PRFX is unhalted, but I don't like it, right? That's a lot of bearish strength. There's no need to just jump into that. PLYM, that's one of your REITs, up 50%. Wow, what happened there, buddy? Get some news? Give me 1 second here. I got to sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. I'm sneezeless. It's gone. Oh, Tammy loves REITs. Don't let her fool you. Yeah, look at that PLIM. That is beautiful. So what happened there? What was the, let's see here, unsolicited non-binding acquisition. Oh, okay. Good, good. So someone just reached out and they want to acquire them. Buyout proposals, 6th Street. Okay, that's huge, Tammy. You think they're gonna? I think they're gonna reject that though, right? Like, why would 6th Street? I mean, so they're offering. How much are they offering? $24.10 per share. I mean, that's awesome. What was the share price at when that happened? That was a 6x, 2x, almost a 2x. So what was their market cap yesterday, or what was their value? Sorry, I'm just trying to do some math. That's a lot of money. That's kind of insane. What do they like? What's their appeal? So stuff like that's interesting, right? Because basically, 6th Street is just offered to pay them twice what they were worth yesterday, on a pretty nondescript REIT, right? That's a real estate investment trust. So something's up there. So I'd want to look more into 6th Street and see what they're attempting to do, as well as what Plymouth is holding. Because that's interesting, right? Like, why would they be trying to just buy these? Like, why such a generous offer, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Redhead Dad, how do you get your order books like that on the side? So for this, right, you go up to your widget tool, and then it's going to be under quotes. So you go here, you go to quote, and then you go to order book, and you just do the little plus fella, and then you just drag this into place. Oops. into whatever, you can maneuver these around however you need to. Let's say I want to do them here and do an order book side by side. I can do that. It's just adding and docking widgets. I'm going to remove that one though because I don't want it. I don't want it there. I like to keep it small and narrow so I can see the walls just relative to one another. But yeah, Tammy, that's interesting. You always have the best side adventures. I love it. I love seeing it. Okay. Sorry, I just had to check on something. They own 10% of Plymouth Outstanding Stockers. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, though. They're just trying to throw a bunch of money at Plymouth for essentially a takeover, but why? Like what's the appeal unique to Plymouth that's going to get them to pay them twice what they're worth in terms of market, right? Something's weird there. I don't know. I haven't looked into it myself, so you know more about them than I do at this point, but I would just be curious. Yeah, we'll have to deep dive. Something's up. All right, Lays is just wicking all over the place, and then GXAI is pumping a little bit here. But again, this one I'm really going to look for a move over 2 before I consider jumping back in. And these will just be like little single share guys. Let me check on SPY as well really quick, and then I'll come back to GXAI. So this one's still kind of just hanging out in the range, right? So if I kick up here to the 5-minute, it just really likes this range. We got to get out of that range. We got to do something destructive, right? We got to mess up our childhoods a little bit. So I think we'll get there, but it might take some time. All right. So it looks like this one here is kind of, it's pushing and pulling a little bit, but that volume really has to surge back in. And a lot of these, the volume just kind of pulled out, right? So we're approaching the 10 o'clock hour. Volume is kind of just dying off a little bit. Now that's okay for us, right? Because there's always going to be a push-pull. But it tells us when not to jump into stuff aggressively. So I'm personally just keeping an eye here on GXAI for when the volume resurges, if it pushes up into the $2 level. So if I see something like this, let me just draw it out here. This is kind of what I'm looking for. Then I'll get back in above 2. But if it just kind of pulls back down and falls off, I don't want to touch it. 10:30 if you ask my computer. Yeah. Oh, Charlie, they're messing with you. I wonder if someone messed up your... I wonder if someone's pranking you. Do you have ghosts? Maybe it's ghosts. They're not very good at using computers. Maybe they're trying to use a calculator and messed up your time instead. Did an update last night? Yeah. God, love technology. Technology. There you go. Honey hiding ghosts. Looks like Lays is pulling down a little bit. Looks like it broke out of that support. That's why we don't jump into these yet, guys. PRFX and GXAI seem to be having the best setups, but we got to wait for confirmation. So GXAI had some volume come in, but it's not pushing up. So that's kind of a sign of weakness for now. And that's why I'm waiting till it's over 2. PRFX has gotten some push, but it's the order book stuff is up here around 320. So we'll keep an eye on that one. That's right in that range too. So I got to be very cautious about that. Maybe I'll trade this one more time if I can. Don't even know if I can. I'm on limited settled cash today. And then I really think GXAI is going to be the one of the best potential, but it's got to get up. It's got to just have that clean, consistent volume. And work the plumbing downstairs. You get Ghost Hammer? That's awesome. I remember we had that for it was like 2 weeks. Bang, 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 bang all day, all night. It was annoying. That with the dog also. That dog would not leave it alone. I was like, let them work. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, gotta love it. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, by the way, if your pipes start banging randomly, it's usually your check valve. So there's a little valve off the main, and its job is to open and close, but it doesn't allow back pressure. And what happens is if it's one of the older kind and the spring goes bad, it'll open and close repeatedly, and it'll cause a pressure surge and ebb on your pipe, and it'll slam the pipes into the wood of your house, and that's a ghost hammer. So you're gonna, like, it usually happens when you flush toilets or when you turn water on and off dishwashers, washing machines, things like that. And it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So you learn a little bit of everything on this stream. But yeah, it's very, very annoying. So it won't cause any damage in most cases if you have like a bladder or something like that, but you got to get it taken care of ahead of time. Everything is fine. Yeah. It's all good. All right. So it looks like PRFX is trying to rally here. It's getting some intention here. It's less volume, but it's got some intent. And so does GXAI. So interesting little conundrum we're in, right? I think I'm going to trade GXAI. Now I'm going to watch this 21, 22K wall here at $2 for this one. If it wants to go. All right, PRFX is over 3, but it's stalling a little bit. I just like GXAI, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and get in over 2. Now there's the wall. The wall got pulled at 2. But I'd like to see a little bit more. There we go. All right. So I took a high entry. Now I'm expecting some volatility because of the way that the order book is dancing around here. But this should work out in my favor in theory, right? We always got to say in theory because that's we can't know what's going to happen. But we did see the $2 wall get chewed. We saw the bid ask shuffle, the little shuffle dance they do, and then they landed back on the bid or the ask. Sorry. So we should be looking for breaks over. Now I did get in below 2. So it's a little bit anticipatory, but I saw confirmation in the order book that shows me what I was looking for. So if we get a rejection, I take that risk. If we get breakout, I get a 2-cent advantage. So it is what it is. But more importantly, I'm not going to miss the entry. Let's take a peek at this one. PRFX is pulling down. It got rejected. And that's kind of what we might start seeing if GXAI's volume doesn't sustain. So again, it all boils down to the timing of that volume with stuff like this. So I think I'm in a good position here. I'm seeing everything that I like so far. And we should see some good, strong price action over 2. We just got to get up there and sustain. So let me just make that like a blue so we can see where we're headed. And we're getting a lot more action here, which should drive the volume up. So this volume is up, but it needs to be more directional at this point. So let me just do this. I will push this up here, and I'll move this down here, and then that becomes our pop threshold right there. So right over that, I'm going to erase this line here, this 195, and this becomes our psychological level. So I'm looking for a break over 203 on this one for a bigger pop. If not, I just take a small hit on this one. I do have to jump off here in about a minute, or maybe a couple minutes here, but I say a minute so I can say goodbye for 20 minutes. Does anybody have any questions before I jump off of here? And obviously the SPY contract is just dragging the P&L all over the place today. Anybody have any questions for me today? We got a 195 wall. Don't like that. Just kidding. It's a 30K wall at 195. Yeah, 195. So there's algos that are jumping into this now after that little shift. So I'm going to keep my control key handy here. I got about 20 seconds or so. How is ADD doing? What happened with that one? Let me peek back at that one. Oh, that one pulled down. Are you still in that one? If you're still in here? Let me see. Where are you? Jolie? Are you still in the chat? It's hard for me to see all the names and stuff because Discord hates me. No, I don't see them in here. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll shoot them at the DM. I was going to say that one pulled down pretty hard. Ugh, GXA, what are you doing, buddy? All right, so that's going to be my hard cut for that one. But I do have to jump off here. You guys obviously trade at your own risk. Today is one of those really weird days in the market. I will keep holding my SPY. I don't know why I'm drawing lines there. And again, that's just going to be for a fail to the downside below 642. If not, I take that risk, and it is what it is. SPY lottos are always high risk, so please don't overcommit. If you are only trading with the full amount that you have to lose, don't do that. This is small for me. It's absorbable. It's okay. If anything, it's a good lesson what not to do. So don't hurt yourselves. And with that said, Lays fell off. PRFX is still kind of stagnating there. GXAI is pulling back, and then PLYM is just blasting for the day. Good job, Tammy. Looks like we got a newcomer here, Binny Bollinger Innovations. I feel like that's an unfair name for a stock. Little cheaters. It's like the Williams Percent Company. And TLPH. That's just rough to trade. So none for me, thanks. All right. So with that said, I'm going to end the recording here and the live stream. Let me just post that link in there again. Oops. Anybody that is, I'll put it in here as well. Anybody that hasn't yet signed up for these are little reminder emails. Lee's going to do his live stream on Thursday. Market open. Make sure you guys are there, and I will see you guys on the other side. Thank you. Let me end the recording.